Hey guys, so I'm doing a little Yu-Gi-Oh Q&A. When I hit 750 subs, I asked people to send in some questions in the comments, and I got a few. Didn't really get that many, but I still wanted to do this and answer people's questions. I'm thinking about continuing this series. If you guys want me to keep doing this, post questions below in the comments. I'll take questions about decks, about me personally, about some rulings. A lot of people have ruling questions I see all the time. So if you guys need help on certain things, you can ask in the comments below. I really want to use this series to kind of help people out. So yeah, if you guys are interested in it, keep posting questions. If not, I'll probably move on to other stuff, but still this can be a fun thing. But now I'm going to get into just a few questions that people have asked me. So first off, the Money Team Angel asked me about Chaos Dragons. I'm going to be honest here, I haven't actually run Chaos Dragons yet. I'm probably going to build it sometime in the future, but I currently haven't run it. And he wants to know like the kind of best form. I can't really recommend. There's a lot of ways to make that work. It just sounds like it will work fine with light sworns and stuff like that. So I'm still going to kind of look into that. I might run one in the future and I can get back to him about that. He's asking about the side deck. For a deck like that, you really need stuff to protect you from specific cards that mess with the deck that keep you from doing graveyard stuff. So you might want to consider siding like Royal Decree or more MSTs if you're not running 3 MSTs, or maybe even Dark Bribe. You really need to be able to deal with cards like Necro Valley and Imperial Iron Wall and stuff like that, because that will really mess with Chaos Dragons. So if you really want to deal with specific cards that get in the way of Chaos Dragons, those are some of the types of things you want to think about. Now, David Wilford asked me about kind of a Hazy Flame, kind of about Hazy Flame and Fire Kings. I wasn't sure exactly if he meant the deck, like together, Hazy Flames and Fire Kings, but I'm going to address them separately and then I'll talk about them together. So my opinion on like Hazy Flames is that they're a really fun deck and I really like how they play. The big issue I have with Hazy Flames is that I feel like when I'm using them, I kind of don't appreciate Basiltrist that much. I keep using the 6-star generic XYZs because Basiltrist just takes so much work to get out. So not really just to get it out, but to build it up to make it into what it's supposed to be. And even when it has 5 materials, I still think it's not as good as it should be. It can still be rolled over with certain things. So that's my one big issue with it. I don't particularly like the boss monster. It's also, can be really slow without its spell and trap support. So if you get rid of that stuff, Hazy Flames can't do much. They work much better as a hybrid deck that has backup from other types of cards. I also wish more of them could be backed up by Rekindling. And I also wish Sphinx wasn't, like not a consistent card. Sphinx is like the way you get out a lot of Hazy Flames at once, and it's not very consistent. So that's kind of annoying. It could be consistent with other cards, but it's kind of a waste to do that. About Fire Kings, I really prefer them a lot more than Hazy Flames just because of their insane power and their field kind of wiping skills. Yeah, they just have some real power, and their weaknesses aren't as bad. Their weaknesses are more like the traditional weaknesses like graveyard stuff. Talking about the deck together, Hazy Flames with Fire Kings, it's a build I've been seeing. I haven't really looked at it too much. I really want to see what the combos are, what the potential it can do. In the past, I've run Hazy Flames with Flame Vels, but yeah, with Fire Kings, I could definitely see some interesting stuff you can do. So maybe in the future I could talk more about that deck type, but for now I just don't want to comment too much on it because I don't know if it could be really good or really bad. So finally, Michael Stormblade asked me like a bunch of questions, which is fine because I didn't get too many. So he asked me what's my favorite deck type, which is just up in the air. It changes all the time. I have like 130 decks right now, so I usually play my newest decks. Every deck I make, it's fun for me. The fun of the game comes from me making a new deck and trying it out and seeing its potential. Every deck has some potential. It might, not be as good as other decks, but it still has potential to do cool combos and do some interesting stuff, whether that's consistent and whether that's a meta type, combination is sort of irrelevant to me. It's more about, is it unique? Is it interesting? Is it fun? So that changes, all the time. I don't have a favorite deck type. If you play me, you'll see I pull out random decks all the time. You won't see me pulling out the same deck over and over again. So can't say I have a favorite. He also asked me what's my favorite Karibo. What a weird question. I don't know. I liked a lot of the Karibos in the anime that you never get to see, like the big Karibo fusion thing. But Rainbow Karibo is really cool. That card that just came out in Legacy of the Valiant. It's like overall, it's like a really nice card. And I would love to make like a winged Karibo deck one of these days. So that's definitely interesting. So I'm not sure. I wish the anime Karibos would all be in the game. He also asked me if I were a Yu-Gi-Oh card, what would you be? That's such a strange question. It that makes me think of like which artworks I really liked. Um, but I'm not sure. I really like a lot of the Dark Magician, like the new Dark Magician artworks for some of those cool cards, like the new Fusion that's not the new Fusion, the new XYZ that's coming out. So I'm big into the artworks on cards, and I really love a lot of the artwork. So I guess I would pick one of those cool cards like the new Dark Magician because I like the artwork. He also asked me if I like Google phones or iPhones. I have an iPhone right now, but I'm not really big into phones. All I need a phone for is checking YouTube to talk to you guys. So I don't really care that much about phones. He also asked me a question that I get people talk to me about all the time, which is whether I like Dueling Network or Devpro. And I only play on Devpro. You'll see me on Dueling Network. I'm in the chat a lot of times, just helping people out and talking and stuff like that, and making decks. But I really prefer Devpro, and I have my reasons. I don't want to like get into all of them, but I have a lot of issues with Dueling Network and how it works, and I think that it could be a lot better if they worked harder on it. But yeah, currently I only play on DevPro. If you want to know specifics about why I do that, you can always message me and talk about that. But I don't want to, rag on Dueling Network so much over the internet and just make people upset. So I'll just keep that to myself for now. So that's it. Those are the only questions I got, but I definitely thought they were really interesting and really cool questions. Again, if you guys want me to continue this series, you guys are going to have to ask me questions down below. Like I said, I went over all the stuff that you guys can ask me about. And a big part of the reason I do my channel is that I want to help people out. I want to interact with you guys, and I want to get feedback and all that stuff. So I think this series could be really cool for that. As always, you can always contact me, in my contacts and stuff like that if you want to talk to me directly about anything I've said here and all that stuff. But as always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later.